Now, is Cassie Ventura a victim or an accomplice? And I'm sure you guys have been following the PDD trial. After a slew of new information, witness on the stand, cross-examination, new evidence have been revealed on the type of weird relationship that Cassie Ventura had with P. Diddy had with Cassie Ventura. And one of the really, really weird part of this, guys, before we talk about the accomplice or the victim in all of this, one of the weirdest thing I believe about this whole trial is the fact that Cassie Ventura's husband was sat in court and heard some of the nastiest things that anyone could say or could explain, sexually explicit, filthy things that a lot of people may find weird being done to your woman. So I feel it for that brother. I especially if he didn't know that she's that type of freak. Because the Punisher, and that's a male stripper who oftentimes would come to the residence of P. Diddy and Cassie and engage in sexually explicit relations with Cassie. He outlined a list of things, guys. And the husband, Cassie's now current husband, and we all know Cassie is like about 8 or 9 months pregnant, have to sit and listen to it. I'm talking about things like are not limited to urination in your mouth and just some gross stuff. And the amount of men that she been with during this period of time. And the other weird thing about it is his kids have to sit in court and listen to some of this stuff. I feel it for those kids. I feel it for the husband a lot that he have to listen to this, but I feel it for his kids because this is inappropriate on many, many different levels. So let me get back to the question of if it's a victim or accomplice to this whole thing. Now, during the cross-examination or while the male escort, one of the male escort was on the stand, he outlined that oftentimes he would get call or his first interaction with Cassie Ventura is when his boss asked him to, he got a call, so he got to go and, probably dance. He's a male stripper, so he probably thought that he was going to dance or whatever the case is. And when he went there, Cassie was the one who set it up. And she basically told him, like, hey, I know your boss said that we're supposed to give you $200, but I'll give you $4,000. And this is what I want you to do. She outlined the things like the freak offs, like the crazy things, right? And so he came in. I'm sure the guy was like, well, okay. He looked at Cassie. He said that Cassie was the most beautiful woman that he's seen in his life. And sitting right over there, like over to the side, was someone that would look on. Now, he wasn't going to participate or anything like that. He's just going to look on. The male stripper said that he didn't know who that person is because, Diddy was sitting there, or the individual was sitting there with a towel or something covering his face, so he wasn't seeing the individual. But he outlined on many occasions that it was Cassie who set up the engagement for him to come, and that didn't happen just one time. It happened multiple times. Of course, Diddy was turned on by all of this, watching someone, having sex with his girlfriend or whatever. Weird, but people like those stuff. But that that kind of begs the question. Now, if Cassie stayed in that type of relationship for about 10 years and she knew of what transpired, what was transpiring, and how it transpired, and what happened, and what is happening, yet she didn't leave. She stayed a part of it. She was a part of the freak off for years. Does that make her an accomplice to all the things that's been alleged with PD? Of course, oftentimes they may have their fallouts, their arguments, their crazy freak fight. I don't know. Some people like freak fights, like, you know, beating and slapping and all these things. Some people like this stuff. I don't know if that was how their relationship was structured. I mean, as weird as it was already, as weird as it is already, I could only imagine what other crazy stuff they was into. So does that make her an accomplice? But when you look, guys, and you see all the bruises, like her mother was on the stand today, and her mother detailed that there was some video that Diddy said that he would release, some sexually explicit video that he would release if he don't get $20,000, and the mother had to take out, some loan or the other to pay that $20,000, which was later returned back to her anyway. But because she felt sorry for her daughter, she felt like she was going to lose her daughter, and the pictures that show bruise and marks all over her body make her look like she was in fact a victim of abuse, severe abuse. So women, I want all you to chime in here. Does that make her a victim or an accomplice? Let me know what you think.
Right along live.